They say the first person to enter your home after midnight decides your fate for the next 365 days. Most people think it's just a legend. I thought so too. Until the clock struck 12, and I heard the knock. He looked perfect. Tall, dark coat, a bottle of wine in one hand and a piece of coal in the other for luck. He smiled, warm and polite, and I did what the tradition demanded. I opened the door and invited him in, but as he stepped over the threshold, I noticed something. The snow on his coat wasn't melting, and his shadow didn't move with the candlelight. It stayed there, pinned to the floor, waiting. I laughed it off, nervous laughter. The kind you use when something feels wrong, but you don't want to believe it. "Happy New Year," he said. His voice was calm to calm, like he'd said those words many times before. "Happy New Year," I replied, stepping aside to let him fully enter. The door closed behind him with a soft click. That's when the house went quiet. Not peaceful quiet, the kind of quiet that feels like everything is listening. He placed the coal gently on my kitchen table, then set the wine beside it. "For warmth," he said, nodding at the coal. "For joy," he added, tapping the bottle. I thanked him, suddenly aware that my hands were shaking. "You can hang your coat," I offered. He smiled again. "I won't be staying long." That should have relieved me. It didn't. He didn't remove his coat, didn't take off his gloves, didn't even look around the house. Instead, he walked slowly through the living room, his footsteps silent on the floorboards. But his shadow stayed behind. It didn't follow him. It stretched across the floor near the door, dark and heavy, like a stain that refused to move. "Your home is clean," he said. I frowned. "Clean, not just tidy," he clarified. "Empty, something in the way he said it made my chest tighten." He stopped near the hallway and turned toward me. "May I ask," he said, "what are you hoping for this year?" The question caught me off guard. I thought of the usual things: peace, stability, less loneliness, but the words stuck in my throat. "I just want a normal year," I said. His smile faded. "Careful," he replied softly. "That's a dangerous wish." The lights flickered. Just once, enough to make me flinch. When they steadied, he was closer than before, too close. I could smell cold on him, like snow and old air. "You should drink the wine," he said. I glanced at the bottle. It was unlabeled, no brand, no markings. "I don't usually drink," I said. "That's unfortunate." He reached out and placed his gloved hand on my wrist. I gasped. His touch was freezing, not cold, empty. Like touching metal left outside all night. I pulled back instinctively. For the first time, his expression changed, not anger, disappointment. "That's not how this works," he said. "What isn't?" I asked, my voice barely steady. "The invitation," he replied. "Once I'm welcomed, I must be treated as a guest." A heavy weight settled in my stomach. "I did welcome you," I said. I opened the door. He tilted his head. "Yes," he agreed. "But hospitality is more than an entrance." The shadow by the door twitched. Just slightly. I stared at it. It was thicker now, darker. "You didn't ask my name," he continued. "You didn't offer me a seat. And you refused the wine." The air grew colder. The walls creaked, like the house itself was shrinking. "I didn't know there were rules," I whispered. "There always are," he said. "People just forget them." He turned and looked at the shadow. It finally moved, slowly, crawling toward us along the floor. I stepped back. "What happens if I break the tradition?" I asked. He met my eyes. "Then the year takes its shape from me instead of you." The shadow reached my feet. The temperature dropped so fast my breath fogged. Images flooded my mind, moments that hadn't happened yet. Empty rooms, missed calls, doors closing. Days passing without faces, without voices. Loneliness, so deep it felt physical. "No," I said, shaking my head, "you can't." "I already have," he replied, the shadow wrapped around my ankles. I grabbed the coal from the table without thinking and threw it into the fireplace. It landed with a dull crack. For the first time, the coal glowed, the shadow recoiled. He stepped back sharply, his calm finally breaking. "That wasn't meant to be used," he snapped. "You said it was for warmth," I shouted. The fire caught quickly, flames licking upward, the room filled with heat. The shadow shrank, pulling back toward the door. He stared at the fire, then at me. Something old and furious flickered across his face. "You'll regret choosing resistance," he said. "Leave," I demanded. Now the house groaned, the candlelight surged. For a moment, I thought he wouldn't go, then he turned, opened the door, and stepped outside. The shadow followed him this time. Before leaving, he looked back over his shoulder. "We'll meet again," he said quietly. "Next year, perhaps." The door slammed shut, silence returned. The snow outside melted instantly where he had stood. I spent the rest of the night awake, staring at the fire until it burned out. The year that followed wasn't perfect, but it was mine until tonight. It's New Year's Eve again. There's a knock at my door, and this time, there's more than one shadow. Some traditions aren't meant to bring luck. They're meant to remind you who's waiting.